Hey mamas, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? Y'all, I'm very out of sorts today. This does not look like any of my normal YouTube videos. And it's because I'm currently moving, y'all. So you can't see right now, but I got a trunk and a back seat full of stuff from my home. And I'm currently on my second trip back to the new place. And I am so excited. But I wanted to talk about when the grace lifts. When the grace lifts off of place or a situation or a relationship or a business or whatever, when the grace lifts off of something, it completely feels different. And I wanted to talk about this because as I'm moving, it really makes me think about this because that's exactly what happened with the place that I'm moving from. So if you're not new around here, you know I went through a separation and a divorce, and during that time, because the grace had lifted off of that relationship, it was time to go. So when I moved out of the home that we shared together, I moved in with my dad. And when I moved in with my dad, I stayed there for about 2 months. But although I was grateful for him and his wife allowing me to stay, I could see that there wasn't somewhere I could stay long term. So I had to hit the ground running to find a new place for me and the kids to call home. And I knew wherever we moved, it wasn't going to be a long term situation. I already knew that because I had to do it so quickly. So I already knew that. But I found a place, and truly, I know it was God's doing how I found the place. God was just showing me that this was where He wanted me for that time being throughout the whole process. I was getting favor with the owner. I got blessed with a house full of appliances. I got blessed. Just so many blessings were coming in. I'm like, okay, this has to be God. This has to be God. And I've been living in that home almost 2 years now. And I actually thought that my lease was going to be up in November of this year, but come to find out, it was up in May of this year. And it's so interesting because around March or April, I started to feel like the grace was lifting off of the space that I was in. I felt like I felt completely different about the home. Like I said, I knew it was going to be temporary, but do you know, like when you get a certain like level of just uncomfortable, you don't have peace about it anymore. It's like in the past season, I felt like this place was such a huge blessing and it was a miracle and it was God all over this. But now I'm starting to see things that I didn't even notice before. Now I'm starting to hear gunshots more than I used to over here. Like now I'm starting to find bullet shells in the park behind my home. Like this is not the type of environment I want my babies to be in. So it was just like God was lifting his hand off of the space and showing me that hey, it's time to go. The time has come. It's time to move. And that started happening in like March or April. And then when I found out that my lease was up in May, I was like, wait, what? And the owner was like, yeah, here's your lease. And it definitely said May. And I was caught completely off guard because I thought my lease wasn't up until November. Because my plan was going to be to just deal with the discomfort, to just wait it out until my lease was up in November. Now, although I was feeling uncomfortable, although I was tired of hearing gunshots, I was tired of hearing people drag racing down my street. My kids will begin to ask me questions like, "Mommy, are those gunshots or are those fireworks?" Now, y'all know that's something I cannot allow. That's something I do not want them getting comfortable with. So I was just starting to pray, and I even fasted with a friend, like, God, show me where my next move should be. Show me what area you want me to live in. Lord, I want what you want from me. And the same way you showed me favor when I moved here is the same way I want, you to confirm to me that the next place is where I'm supposed to be. So I just wanted to talk to you guys today about when the grace lifts, when the discomfort comes, when you feel unsettled all of a sudden, when you feel like what used to work for you no longer works for you, when it's like, I used to love the way this dress looked on me, but now I'm not liking the way this looks, or this doesn't feel like me anymore, or like I feel like God is calling me to something more than this. And that's exactly how I felt about moving to where I'm moving to now. It has been a whirlwind, to be honest. Um, in every area of my life in this past week, I feel like I've been dealing with so much like spiritual warfare, to be honest, because it's abnormal. It's like conflict in every little pocket. And when it's like that, it always makes my spiritual radar starts going off, because it's like, it's deeper than what it looks. It's deeper than what it seems. So let me not get frustrated or irritated with what's on the surface, and really look beneath what is really going on and see what the source of this is. And I feel like it's just been the enemy trying to distract me, to be honest, from the joy and the gratitude and the excitement that I should have, because I'm moving into a better space and I'm able to give my children a better home, somewhere where we can spread out and be more comfortable. Because y'all, the last place that the place I'm moving from was, I don't even think 900 square feet. It was like maybe 867. I looked it up on Zillow at some point. It was like, I think 867 square feet. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, very small, not a lot of space. But in the season that I was in when I moved in, it was a blessing. And that just speaks to timing. In different seasons, some things make sense, you know? Like at that time, I was staying with my dad, and me and my kids were sharing an upstairs space in my dad's home. So moving out, even though it was 867 square feet, we still had our own space. We had our own rooms. You know what I mean? So it made sense for that time. But when the grace lifts off a thing, you better get up and go. Okay? When God takes his hand off of a situation and you in there white knuckling it on your own because he doesn't have his hands on it, it's best you go ahead and move. It's best you go ahead and move. Whether it be a business, whether it be a relationship, whether it be where you're living, the car you're driving. If you're feeling unsettled in your spirit and you feeling like the Holy Spirit is telling you it's time to go, you may want to make a move, okay? That's all I'm saying. Because I was sitting and thinking, at one point the enemy was creeping in and trying to convince me that, oh, you're moving, you're going to increase your expenses, how you going to pay for that? Like the fear came in, all the thoughts of how you going to make that work. Well, you already this, you already that, how you going to pay this, and why you moving out? Like all the thoughts started running through my mind. And the enemy even used people closest to me to plant seeds of doubt, and they didn't know. You know, a lot of times people can plant seeds of doubt, and it's coming from a place of love because they're concerned about you, or they want the best for you, and they don't want to see you struggling or hurting. So I get that, but they don't know they were adding to the voice of the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And the enemy will use anybody. But like I said, they didn't know. So I'm not holding it against them. But it's just funny to me how the enemy doesn't have any new tricks. If you're the type of person that's inside your head and you're an overthinker, he's going to use that. If you're the type of person that really holds other people's opinion in high esteem and you search for external validation before you make decisions, he's going to use that. So you have to make sure that you're hearing the voice of God. So you know, okay, the grace is lifted from this situation, and it's time for me to go. It's time for me to decide that I'm going with God. No matter how scary it may be, no matter how this may challenge my faith, I'm going with God because I know He got me. Because He's calling me to better. He's calling me to something new, to something different. So that's all I wanted to talk to y'all today about. I'm on here, no wig, cap on. Been sweating, honey, working hard. Do you hear me? But I'm so excited about the new space and just being able to give my babies better. Better. They deserve better. And at the time, I was in a space of kind of like survival or necessities only. Let me get what I need, and that's all type of deal. When I'm picked, when I moved into the last place, it was kind of a survival decision. But I'm thankful to say that this move right here is more of a thriving decision. This is from a place of we don't just need the necessities. You know what I'm saying? This is not just about, okay, well, as long as we got dot 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 dot. It wasn't about that. It was just about better, about thriving, about flourishing, about literally and figuratively being able to stretch out, having space, having room. You know what I'm saying? Expansion. So, yeah. Thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys subscribe. I hope that what I shared today, although I'm driving and rambling, I hope that you really got something out of it. And if you have a story that you would like to share in the comments about a time where you feel like the grace lifted off of a situation, share it with me. Share it with me in the comments. I do comment back. Okay? I love my subscribers. I do comment back. Share it with me because it's true. Like, once the grace lifts, it's like, I used to like this, but I'm not feeling this anymore. And I really don't know why, you know? So, yeah. But until next time, I love you guys. I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.